They'll snap it from the 39, 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
You can just see the excitement this defense has every play. They're almost wishing this quarterback drops back to throw because they know they're going to get home to him. That's the 6th time they've registered a sack.
A 1st down sack can wreck a drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. Wants to go up top. Bring in the heat. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
Man, there are defensive players out there that can just take games over, and that's what's happening with this guy right now. He is not cooperating with the offensive game plan. A sack on 2 consecutive plays, and now on 3rd down, you know he's spinning his ears back again.
Now 3rd and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Fires one high and deep. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. That incompletion is an engraved invitation to the punt team. Here's the return. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. Southern Mississippi has it back, and the Golden Eagle offense headed to the field. He'll start this drive firing. Quarterback just flat missed him. Incomplete. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Back to pass. Makes the grab over the middle. Brought down at the 46, but he got 10 on the play. Here comes the hurry up.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with a lead get conservative. I like they didn't. Like, they trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. You know, they have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Oh, he's got some space. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
When the offense can run the football and you can feature a guy like this that will get more yards than his block, that you can really depend on, hangs on to the football, like, it makes offense super easy, especially down the stretch when you want to eat that clock and you want to possess the football. Just nice to have that kind of guy.
Caught over the middle. It's DeLuca. And they pick up just a few on that completion. And the Golden Eagles moving quickly to the line. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. They'll run play action. He'll try to do it himself. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain. So here we are on 4th down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. And it's right down the boulevard. And now the lead is even bigger. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Gentlemen, that pivotal top 15 battle is in the books. Here's how things went down. Ohio State is going to get out of Dodge with a win. It's a shave that might have been a little closer than Buckeyes fans wanted, but a road victory feels great no matter what the final score is. Always fun to see two of the game's better teams duke it out at this point of the season. A good barometer, fellas, for both coaches.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. He gets nothing, and they keep plowing ahead with the running game, and they've got very little to show for it. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. He lets it fly. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. And he's tackled, but there's also a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. So the offense, more than happy with the result of the play, will decline the penalty. Great place to start for this offense. They want that clock to run. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Wants to fire on second down. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. The inside handoff. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. And now on fourth down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and the clock is definitely on their side. They'll just try to run it out here. And if the kicker can put one through, this will be a successful drive. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. And they'll push that lead out a little further.
I really like the decision by this offense because now they got to score 2 touchdowns. Time is not on their side. I can stay very, very conservative. Use that clock. I like the decision by this offense.
He'll bring it out. It's Godet. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. From the shotgun, the inside give. Some hard running there, but just too many defenders as he stopped for a loss. Sprinting to the line to try to get this one off. Clock's running. To the air on second down. Here's a throw downfield late. Grabs it at the 25 in stride. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands.
Pass interference. Defense.
And the offense didn't need to accept the penalty thanks to that big play. As a defense, you hate to let them move the chains on a penalty, but that's what they did. It's 1st and 10. Fires to the big fella. He'll be run out of bounds at the 14. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Looking to fire. Here's the heat. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21. They'll hurry to the line here to try to get off that third down play. From the gun, wants to pass. Under fire. Gets away from one. Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions this late. 4th down attempt coming. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Incomplete on 4th down, and man, did they need to keep that drive alive. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. Oh, that was a pretty rough showing there by this team. Just couldn't find a way to get things going and come up with the win.
Just got outplayed, Reese. There were moments in this game. There were plays to be had and plays to be made. At the end of the day, they just did not execute well enough in any of the 3 phases on any side of the football. So, David, moving forward, a lot to take away from this game as they try to improve.
A lot to take away and a lot to learn from. I mean, losses definitely hurt, they sting, but a lot of times most teams refocus and they get a sense of urgency now that they got a loss in that column. So watch the tape, watch what you need to improve on, and go attack it in practice.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.